Hello there. Welcome to my second YouTube submission from my chess games at chessworld.net. I've been playing for a few years over there and I really enjoy it. I recommend that you give it a shot. You can sign up for free. It gives you some limited privileges on the site, but once you join up, it only costs about $20, $25, I think. And you can enjoy some really great correspondence-based chess with 5 and 10 days between moves. They're also known as letsplaychess.com. So if you submit that as a search term in YouTube, you can find all kinds of great videos where some of the better players on the site, better than me, are doing analysis of some classic games as well as some newer ones. Myself, I'm rated in Canada on a provisional basis at about 1300. And I'm working at raising my rating. You can check out my fairly new blog at chessgames.livejournal.com, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on this game and others. So this one is C23 Bishop's opening, and let's have a look how it pans out. This player, Black, had some tremendous momentum against me in my end. Against my king, managed to turn it around, and I'll show you what I think is a turning point in a little bit. So as you can see, it does open with Bishop C4 very early on. I guess I had hoped for an early end to the game, but he's much smarter than that. He's rated 1282. I'm 1227 on the site as of the beginning of this game, and so he responds in kind, putting a little pressure on the king there. So, just with natural development, he castles as of the fourth move, which is great. He also very wisely resists the temptation over here to take this bishop with the pawn, thus breaking his defensive structure, which is great. So he might have caused himself all kinds of problems if he had done that. Of course, that allows me to do this. Which again causes him all kinds of grief. So he didn't do that. Of course, I might have busted in and sacked my bishop, but I wasn't in a mood to do that. In any event, we just move on and see that I had pulled back and directly challenged the black bishop there that had pulled in. He moves one over and says hello to the king. And is chased out by a pawn. He goes back over. Just a natural development with my knight. He pulls one over. Pulls his king one over. Now, if you see a reason for that, let me know, because I'm not quite clear on exactly why. I think what he's looking at is still the two positions here between the bishop and the queen, but that's not so much a direct threat against him because of the positioning of the rook and the king as defensive pieces against those two. It's still a 2-on-2 fight. But what I've decided to do here in a moment is grab a pawn, because obviously he's not going to sack his rook on this one. So that was a free pawn. And it was sort of the sign of some better things to come, I think. But we do get into some fairly complicated stuff in here, and he shows himself to be a really formidable player in many respects, and I have a great deal of respect for the way he's played this game. It gets a bit sticky for him later on, I think. So at this stage, I have a threat against his rook. He has an opportunity to take the bishop, obviously, but he's really quite concerned about my threat here, so he doesn't take it. What he doesn't realize, of course, is that I'm just going to move over there and threaten the other rook. So he's jumped up and taken that bishop. I'm going to take the rook, and he is got both bishops up there, so he's got a really nice full court press here. Look at the offense coming up against my king. That's a pretty powerful pretty powerful offense coming up. So I managed to chase his queen up just a little bit up into his side of the board, and take his knight. But he's still got this nice diagonal coming down against my king there, which I block and sack. And exchanging pawns in the middle, I come back and realize there's a free pawn to be had. Maybe a mistake on my part. I've got two offensive pieces over in the corner where they're not doing a single bit of good, and I leave them there until later on in the game, when in fact one of them actually is a big help, and you'll see that in a bit. Okay, so we got a direct challenge to the queen. What do you do? Well, in my case, I pulled over my rook, and the bishop comes in. His bishop comes in. Let's just back up just a sec. His bishop comes in and takes one of my defensive pawns there. Okay, so what do? I just take his rook and sack my queen. Okay, then I have my first break, and this is where the tide turns in my favor. I come back. I threaten that bishop. He goes over, and I think this is a bit of a mistake for him. He goes over looking for fresh meat, and he finds one by taking that knight. Now he's well away from the action, and it gives me an opportunity, as you can see, to build this pile driver, to head on over and attack. Okay. So I've now firmed up over here, defending that bishop quite nicely, and I'm getting ready to use the bishop in a moment, once I'm done chasing the queen, as a little leverage to support the rook against the king. Now he's in between here, and he's looking to take one of these pieces, but he's not going to because the bishop has better things to do. Of course, the check is from the rook, so there's no, he's not going to gain any material there. Okay, second check from the second rook, and basically, at this point, he resigns because he needs to move. If he hadn't resigned, these are the moves. Okay, so this is his only legal move, and that's checkmate. So, excellent momentum on his part. I guess the mistake was taking the bait over here for these guys that I had erroneously dropped on the other end of the board, getting greedy for pawns, and his leaving queen between those two pieces, looking for some hope. But a queen against two rooks and a bishop, when I've got a little bit of momentum going for me, was no good for him. Didn't help him at all. Anyway, thank you so much for checking out this game. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Check out my blog at chessgames.livejournal.com. Also check out letsplaychess.com, also known as chessworld.net. My username is Hard Dazed Knight, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye.